Okay, that was great. We are back. A lot of listeners. By the way, our last radio show, we had 6,723 listeners. It was Christmas weekend, so a lot of people were out of town. They're up in the mountains doing what they're going to do. We have a lot of plans for this year, and I'm going to tell you what, tune in, be ready, because not only are we going to be doing the radio, we are doing the video. So if those of you who are listening have heard of the Young Turks, we are doing something similar to that, but at a local level. Because everybody's like, well, Donovan hasn't done a video in a long time. That's because a lot of people like radio. But for some of our guests, we are still going to do the radio because not everybody wants to be on video. So like right now, I could be on radio and say, well, my name is James, and I saw Ito give the white envelope to Gutierrez, and and they want to be anonymous. Okay, so again, if you have something to say, 3 minutes for a agenda items is not enough time. So please come on the show. Please like and share what you're hearing here. We also have a chat thing, and we're going to have a call in as well, and invite people to come in, and we can talk to you as we're doing the show. So, we're expanding and we're doing great things. We're going to have business leaders. We're going to have local leaders on the show, and we're going to ask them, where are we going? What's happening in the Inland Empire? Because have you noticed the only news that we get in the Inland Empire is if there's a stabbing, if there's a shooting, or if there's corruption. That's the only news we get. We never hear the good stuff that's happening in Moreno Valley, as in Reflections Church, outreach for the homeless, and mental health issues with March Joint Wellness and things like that.
Well, you did get pretty good coverage of that pallet fire a few months ago.
Yeah, that was awesome. I love that. I mean, God, I didn't have enough marshmallows for that one. That's really good. But one of the things I really want to talk about is the biggest thing, and it was in the press enterprise. This developer, and I want to clarify this. Not all developers are bad developers. We have some good developers, and Pastor Don, you're working with a developer right now that is doing the golf course. Could you elaborate on?
We met with this the developer over at the Moreno Valley Ranch golf course, and of course he had a very difficult time at the beginning because residents there were struggling with what his plans were. Residents were angry, losing their view, and their property values going down. Mm-hmm. But this developer, he could have easily just said, well, you know what, there's no guarantees, you lose your values,
right.
That's the way it goes. But this developer did not do that. He has done everything possible to appease them. He has done everything possible to align the golf course so the views are still there. This is a developer that I've worked with developers, like Don,
yes.
for 15 years. Mm-hmm. I've never met a guy who cares more about the people than the dollar than the guy that's working over at that Moreno Valley Ranch golf course. His name's Eric Hefner. He's a wonderful man, mm-hmm. and he really cares about the residents there.
Well, the thing that I liked about him is he isn't a developer that just takes and makes his buck and goes. This guy wants to invest in the community.
That's right, and exactly. He's actually changing his own plans in order to make the residents happy. What developer does that? Are you kidding? And it's all about the dollar.
Right.
So it's refreshing. It's nice. Great to talk to him. He just, he really has great plans for the people. So, there is at least one developer that really cares.
And we're going to highlight Mr. Hefner's plans because I've always said this. There's not enough information, and you're going off scuttlebutt and rumor and whatever. And me and Pastor Don we met with Mr. Hefner. He showed us the plans. I mean, I'm in Rancho Balago West. I mean, my golf course is right across the street over there. Okay, so over here in Edgemont and stuff like that. But I saw the plans. I saw this guy with, he has the driving range that's there. He wants to put the clubhouse with the Boys and Girls Club, and he's going to work with you bringing Reflections in there to maybe utilize that and branch off and other things. He's working with the views. He's rescoping. I mean, the guy was straight up front, and he did it without giving us a chicken dinner.
That's exactly true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, he was just, he took the time out and said, hey, blah, blah, blah. We were just like, hey, what's going on?
And it's so interesting. And that's why.
Give out wine as well. We didn't
get wine.
We went to accept his plan.
We didn't get the tri-tip. We didn't get any of that.
It's interesting, too. One last thing about this. Donovan and I have been talking about this church plant. And one of the things that we promote is families. And I think that families, one of the problems with Moreno Valley is the unity of the family has just gone
Yeah, everybody's in the
now.
matrix. Yeah,
Exactly. It's all everybody's in that matrix. You're absolutely right. Well, this developer also had that same idea. That's why he was interested in that Boys and Girls Club. That's why he's interested in a church. That's why he's interested in teaching the young kids how to play golf. I mean, he was really big on families, and that's why we got along so well, because we had the same vision.
Right. You know, and that program with the kids teaching golf and stuff, that was awesome.
Yeah.
There's a lot of military retirees here that play golf. So, you know, for him to revamp, it went from he downsized the golf course.
Yeah, it's still a 27-hole golf course, but it's not the championship level. It's not the length was shortened quite a bit, but not to the point that it's still not a very challenging golf course.
Right. So, I mean, you know, so this is a new challenge for golfers out there to come on out. And, you know, George Price is still involved with it. Mm-hmm. You know, there again, just because you're not a council person like myself doesn't mean you can't stay involved in the community. And George is still involved with that and working with that. But being a developer does not mean mud. Unfortunately, in this town, one developer has basically spoiled that, but we do have some good developers. But speaking of a bad developer, Highland Fairview, it was in the Press Enterprise, he does not want to pay his legal fees. That if you were there like I was there, Daryl, he got up and said, I will indemnify the city of all legal challenges and costs. Is that correct, or am I not correct?
That's what I heard.
I mean, it's on video. It's on a thing like that. Now, and this is what I mean about getting the right information. And this is where Pastor Don, because Pastor Don, before he was a pastor and he was called to serve, he was a ruthless businessman. Okay? He was ruthless. If you, the movie Wall Street, Gordon Gekko, based on Pastor Don. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it.
There goes the church.
But Pastor Don, as a businessman, how does that work when a guy indemnifies an entity?
Yeah, he has to. He basically, you know, he has those responsibilities. He made commitments. He made commitments to the city. He made commitments to the people that, you know, he's going to take care of all his debts, all his legal fees. He is responsible. And when he basically says, well, no, and then he starts questioning the fact he doesn't have
invoices
some paperwork, I don't have paperwork, what that tells me is that basically he's not honoring exactly what his commitments was to the city.
Or he doesn't have the money.
So the question has to be, and I'll ask, you know, the panel here, who will be paying those bills? Who's going to be paying those legal fees?
We will, but correct me if I'm wrong, but since he signed in a contract that he's going to cover all these costs, can't he be sued for not?
Yes, but the council has to approve it and come into fruition, because
absolutely, though,
I'm not surprised. If you look at this guy's track record, why is anybody surprised? This guy is $300,000 in back thing. Almost $400,000. Now, Pastor Don, as a businessman, if I owed you over $400,000 over what's been a year or two since these litigations have been started now, wouldn't you have foreclosed on me by now, or demanded your money, demand payment?
Or sued. Yeah, exactly. You don't sit around. $400,000 to the city of Moreno Valley is a lot of money.
Right. I mean, and this is from the interim attorney just before he left and said, we want to demand for payment.
Mm-hmm. No, exactly. You know, if you're not receiving the money for the contractual obligations on debt that you owe, the next steps would be foreclosure. You know,
now Highland Fairview's thing is we've been paying. They're paying what was a total of $8,000. They've paid $8,000 or something like that. They're making payments like $8,000 here, $13,000 here, or whatever. I mean, why isn't Moreno Valley at that city council? That place should have been packed, because those are our tax dollars, and eventually somebody's got to pay those legal fees. And what people don't understand is Moreno Valley doesn't have attorneys sitting around in a room saying, okay, I'm waiting for my case. Whatever comes up, I'm next up. This man, and Pastor Don, you're a businessman. If I'm the city and you're the developer. Now, I don't know anything about what you're doing, whatever deal is. Are you going to allow me to pick the attorney to represent you for your project?
No, I would pick my own attorneys.
Right.
I would have my own staff of attorneys that would represent my best interest
And
in
the
my
cities.
business. Exactly.
Exactly. So he's picked these attorneys. So if you want your invoices, Mr. Ito, go to your attorneys and say, I need the invoices so I can pay these bills.
And the insufficient paperwork is they know exactly how much time they put into it. They know
Right.
exactly how
The
much
billing.
They know exactly. Yeah, and so the insufficient paperwork is just that's just a stalling tactic.
Yeah, it's a stalling tactic.
Well, it goes back to the same thing that the biggest fear about Moreno Valley, and it's the thing that we've experienced for so many years when it comes to corruption. There's so many side deals, so many little handshakes, and so many things going on that we don't know about.
Right.
The people don't know,
about.
and so now the city should be in uproar.
Right.
But the city council is not. Why?
Right.
And there's a reason for that we don't know. But that's why I love this show, because it brings it up for people to
Think about.
think about and question themselves.
Right.
I think Ito made a big strategic mistake in stacking the city council and trying to stack other boards with his people, because those people backbite each other, and they're going to make the city look bad to where they're not. No one's going to want to do business.
Well,
with the
you got to remember. You got to remember this. Who was a member of Victoria Baca's Democratic Club, or Democratic? What did they call it? United Democrats. Mike Rios was a member, and I believe Marcelo Coe was. And okay, so you're a part of this club. The minute he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, what did Victoria do? Oh, he's a crook. You shouldn't believe anything that man says. But before that, she was all, hey, there's nothing wrong with this guy. He's a great guy, blah, 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 blah. And I don't understand at this point, when that article came out in the Press Enterprise, why the comments last night was not directed at why this man is not paying his fees. Daryl, you want to?
I don't.
You're Mr. Moreno Valley. Make this man pay his fees.
Yeah, I can't. No, it should be made an issue, because it's like you said. You pay taxes for all these years, and you haven't.
I just got a slurry seal.
Slurry seal. And your money been taken to other parts of the city. Wasn't in an escrow account.
Right, like it's supposed to be by law.
But see, that's the thing about it, because people don't seem to have the ownership of the city. And I mean, when I mean city, like you do, you raise hell because you have every right, because you're a taxpayer. You deserve to have services. But people don't see it. Well, it's not my money; it's the city money. But they don't realize you pay. Your taxes go to the city, and who's going to get on the hook is us, because bills were not paid.
Well, I'm going to say this, and I'm speaking for myself. If this man does not pay his fees, I'm going to sue the city, because he has a contract that he is to indemnify the city. And I don't know what's going on. And I'm going to meet with Michelle Dawson and Tom DeSantis, the city manager, the real power in the city, and the co-power. And I'm going to ask them, and the city attorney, and I'm going to ask them specifically, why are you not calling this bill in? No entity that I'm aware of is going to let $300,000 in bills just rack up and not want payment. And why hasn't the city started suing him? Or just saying, you know what? No WLC. Is it because maybe he doesn't have the money?
I don't know. He seems to have money when he wants to.
True, that's true. But I mean, so $300,000 shouldn't be a big deal. I mean, he gave Gaiba $250,000, and I'm not trying to knock Mr. Gaiba. I'm just saying $250,000 was no big deal. So $300,000. I mean, he knew as a businessman,
something like $2 million into the last election.
Yeah, he did. But that is so he could do his thing. But how about this? If he gets the majority on that council, maybe he can change, which he's probably going to do. Because that's his MO. He's going to go back and change the agreement to where he won't pay, and we're going to end up paying part of it or some part of it. So I mean, Pastor Don Gecko. I mean, is that how the business is done?
No.
You know what I mean? As a business person, you want to pay as little as possible out of your.
Like I said, there also. I think the reason why he hasn't paid it is because there's a lot of side games being played. And I'm not, I'm accusing because I do not know, but
But in the business world,
I've dealt with contracts for 40 years, and I'm telling you, contracts are very simple. If you don't abide by your contracts, then you get sued. That's just the way it works. Unless there's outside deals that take precedent that we don't know about as a city or as a community. So I don't know. I guess none of us can answer your question.
But none of that's don't know. None of that's national security stuff, so it's not like any of that would be classified. It's right. It should all be public record.
Right, and I'm going to go down there and check that out. But Daryl, I mean, what do we do at this point, other than sit and wait?
I mean, like I say again, 3 minutes is not enough to do anything at the council meeting. I mean, even though nothing would that is a tough question to. And what do we do? Well, I could do is.
Well, I think what we're doing here, Daryl, is what we need to do. The public needs to understand the problems and the issues, and then the public needs to get involved. Public pressure has value, and it can be very powerful.
Yeah, and we can't do all that in 3 minutes. We got to do it somehow.
Well, yeah, I think the education of the public is one thing, and spelling out. In layman's term, was exactly what's happening. I mean, you have to do that for people to understand and how serious these problems are. Yeah. And I mean, that's the only way you can do it. I mean, it's up to the city council to do their job and lay it out on the line what is owed to the public and take action on it.
Right.
I mean, but then, like I said. That's not anything. I mean, if you have a problem, you have to lay it out. Say, okay, people, here's the situation. Here's are the facts, and this hasn't taken place. Next thing, we gotta press the issue and make it happen. If it doesn't, then
and that's one of the reasons why I love this show. And again, I'm going to promote the Inland Empire Informer as to anybody who will listen, because. Here's what happens, and Daryl, you guys can agree with this or not. It comes out in the press enterprise, so it gets a lot of attention. So people are talking about it, and then all of a sudden, time goes by, and what happens? It goes under the rug, and then people forget, and then by the way, a year or two now, whatever happened to all that monies that was owed by the World Logistics Center? Whatever happened? And it goes away. But that's what this show
keeps it alive.
Keeps it alive, exactly. Not only keeps it alive, but it keeps the pressure on, and that's what we need to do is keep that pressure on, so that that people are held accountable. They have to be held accountable.
Well, I think that's the problem with our city is accountability. Is because people shake their heads. They see the antics in the paper at the city council meeting with the garbage situation or the appointment situation, and they see this high school antics happening, and you don't have an adult in the room. And the thing is, when I made the comparison, you need professionalism in there. You got to have maturity to take on these issues and be held accountable, because people don't take us seriously because we don't have any adults in the room other than Mr. Marquez and God.
Speaking of Gaiba, I had a brief conversation with him last night, and he said that the reason people hate him is because he stands for what he believes in. And then a moment later, he turned around and said that there's always these threats and stuff going on in the back room. So I mean, okay, which is it?
Right. Now, I'm going to.
And I did offer to post any statement or any paperwork he wanted on the hot seat, but he declined.
Okay, well, yeah, well, maybe I got to talk to him. I don't know, but let me pause for a second. And when we talk about these millennials and these young people, they want these great jobs. And see, this is why our warehouses aren't full for these millennials, because they don't show up to work on time. They're getting their nails done. Finally, Max Thomas has graced us with her presence.
Hi.
How are you, Max?
Well, today's been a hell of a day.
Okay.
A hell of a day, but a good day nonetheless. It's the new year.
Yes, it is.
Hi, everyone. If you're driving, listening live right now, watch your speeds, watch yourself on the roads. Cops are high and rolling.
Well, no. Victoria Baca is against checkpoints, so we don't have to worry about that in a little bit.
But hi. Today was stressful. My nail appointment took 2 hours.
2 hours. Wow.
2 hours.
Was it a feel problem or something? Girl, tell it, girl. Girl, tell it.
I showed up on time. Actually, I was 15 minutes early because I really do try to be on time. Okay. I know he might not think so, but my friends know me for being on time. And so I booked my nail appointment at 2 so I could be here at 3:45.
Right.
And it just didn't work out like that. But got my nails done for my interview. Done? No toes right now because I'm a little broke college student at the moment.
Right. Max, your interview is for what?
Delta Airlines. I have my final interview Tuesday.
Excellent.
And it's really funny because they fly you out. Mm-hmm. They cover the flight.
Atlanta?
I'm going to Atlanta for their home base, and they fly you out, but they don't put you in a hotel. So you have to get your own hotel.
Yeah, get your own hotel, yeah.
Which is great because you're making an investment into your future. And I got referred by a friend, so I chopped it up with her today. And I found out that it's a group interview. There's going to be like 60 of us there. Yeah. And they do like section off into groups and then round tables. And you get hired on the spot. Right. So they can do your drug test before they fly you back. And then training will start right away. So, if you're a believer, please keep me fresh.
So Max might be leaving us, going to Atlanta, but she could be our international correspondent.
Which is why I chose Delta, because they are a huge airline that travels internationally and wonderfully known amongst the people as good customer service. And I believe in
internationally, yes.
In good customer service. I know they just had an issue with accusing people of something. I don't know. I didn't get all the details.
Now, let me ask you this. We have wonderful jobs here in Moreno Valley, a lot of warehouses.
I'm like what?
Why didn't you want to?
Because I want to be able to live and thrive.
So let me ask you this. What was your first step? If I was interested in going to the airlines, what did you do to get started?
So this is actually my second airline I applied to, and I literally just went online and applied. I know that sounds just like so simple, but it really is simple when you decide this is the industry I'd like to be in, and no matter where I fall into this industry, I'm going to be in this industry. So if Delta says no, then it's to JetBlue because I have a connect there. If JetBlue says no, then it's to here and then here.
I think American.
I think I got denied by someone, but I don't remember who because
I've heard good things that Alaska is a good one to work for.
I want to work for a
she wants to go to
big international because I like to help people get in the best health state of their life. And Herbalife is in 92 different countries. So that means that I can help people all around the world, which means if I can travel all around the world and I can wear a button and people can see it, I'm like, where's my button? And they can read, then they can say, yeah, I'd like to get fit. And then we can connect via Instagram. I got a new client off Instagram today. So reach out, Just Maxon at JUST MAXXIN.
Excellent. It is a new year.
Yes.
And I want to get you in here since you've been late.
I know. I apologize.
And people have gained all this weight.
Right.
So what is the max recommendation to start the new year at?
First step first, decide if you want to be healthy or not. Right? It's not about losing weight or what the scale says. I believe in what you feel like when you look at your reflection. That's important to me. I actually just dropped 20 pounds.
I hate it.
Super duper lean. And I'm feeling super mean. 2017 Year of the Savage.
Okay.
So make sure it's important to you, number one, to be healthy. And then number two, if you decide that being healthy is a part of your priorities for this year, not a resolution, because people forget about those by January 15th. But if you'd like to have all around health, eat breakfast. That's like my tip of the day. No matter, even if it's just, a bowl of oatmeal or some dry oats and fruit, the best breakfast, of course, is an Herbalife meal replacement.
Yeah, of course.
24 grams of protein and all the vitamins and minerals you need. But just something, and not a Pop-Tart, and definitely not cereal, because that's carbs and sugar, guys. Don't let the world lie to you. So breakfast is extremely important, and you won't have that 9 a.m. sitting at your desk, irritated, angry, super crash that most people get. And you'll realize that you'll be in better spirits. You'll be able to deal with your children better if you make it a priority to wake up 30 minutes or an hour earlier to really service yourself and get right with your mind and get right with your body. And that will put you in a better state every single day because it's important.
I have a very important question.
Yes,
now
sir.
that you are going international, what are you going to do with your Disney pass?
Oh, I'm keeping that. Every time I come back, I'll go to Disney. I'm probably going to go to Disneyland tomorrow, let's be honest.
Well, I mean, is it good in France? Or?
No, I don't have. There is big passes like that, but that's for people with big money.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Soon.
Yeah, you're going to be making $14 an hour. Or something.
Right. I'm thinking about going Disney seasonal, though, because I will be able to travel internationally, and I would like to experience some other Disney parks besides Disney World and Disneyland. I've experienced both, even though Disney World is huge, and I worked there for 6 months and still didn't see everything, didn't take advantage of it enough. I wanted to party while I was there. I was younger.
She's...
I wasn't even 21.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm about to be 25 on the 19th.
Yes.
So my mindset's a little different now, but Disneyland is still number one. I just posted on Instagram about Disneyland because someone attacked my Facebook and I'm blocked for 3 days.
Yes,
so.
I see that. Also, for the listener, I got a lot of feedback from the guys that were interested in that chocolate. Are you still with your boyfriend, and how's that going?
Okay, yes, I'm still in a situation. I don't know if I could call him a boyfriend anymore. You just have to really get right with what you want and what your partner wants. And if they don't, I'm sorry, that threw me off. If they don't line up and match well, then you guys get to really sit down and have an adult conversation and see where you guys can align. So I'm all about being monogamous and being into someone, whereas other people, maybe they just got out of a 4-year relationship, or maybe they're dealing with mothers of children, or maybe they just have a dramatic situation going on in their life and they can't necessarily be as gun-ho about being fully committed, but I still spend 5 nights out of 7 there, so.
Okay, so basically,
yes.
If you guys are interested, you might have a chance.
You might have a chance. Let me tell you, especially after today's day.
Right. Okay, we're going to have to talk off air.
Just Naxid.
Yes.
Follow me. DM me.
We're going to have to talk about that. But a lot of stuff going on in the city. Pastor Don, with the Reflections Church, any basic updates you want to talk about? Or
No, I just wanted to ask everyone to continue to read the devotionals every day.
Amazing.
Reflections Moreno Valley Facebook page, and especially share them. Share them with your family and friends, because again, the reason I do those devotionals is really just one reason. That's just to build people up in Christ. I mean, there's, like, we've been talking for almost an hour about all the stuff going on in Moreno Valley.
the drama.
Sometimes we need that picker-upper,
Yes.
and there's nothing better than God in the Bible. So if people just continue to enjoy the devotionals, enjoy the weekly podcasts that Donovan produces for my show, and continue praying for the Reflections Moreno Valley Church. I mean, God is doing some amazing things, awesome things. But you know what? We just need to just stay in prayer. So
Absolutely.
I just, like I said, I'm excited about it. So I really appreciate it.
Yep. January 20th is our target date where we're going to start a new format, and we're going to be doing the Young Turk type situation where you're actually going to see Pastor Don and us on the radio. If Max is here, you'll see her.
I'll do my hair.
And Max always comes in her. Yeah, Max always comes in her athletic gear and stuff like that. So you could,
My shirt is so cute today.
It is. Sweat now, glow later. So so she does really good with that. But we're gonna go to this new format, and so now millennials are visual, so we're gonna get more viewers doing that, and we're gonna have a subscription if you want to get the whole show and of that aspect. And with this show, we're gonna bring business leaders on, local leaders, and just regular residents who just want to talk and talk about what we're talking about right now, because 5 minutes is not enough. And, like I said, Daryl always has a lot of things, and me and Daryl have a friend that we're going to be bringing her on.
Oh, that's something else too. Another individual. No, 2 more individuals wants to get on there.
Yes, absolutely. And like I said, and if you don't want to be on the video show, that's fine. You can still do the radio and be anonymous, and call yourself Shaquiqui or whatever you want to call
Yes,
it.
Shaquiqui.
Whatever it is. But we have a lot of stuff happening this year. Big plans. We want you guys to tune in. Please share and like Pastor Don's Reflections. We're all kind of linked. but we're not linked. So like Pastor Don's going to be doing his own thing. Local right-wing radio with Sean 14 here.
Ciao.
Sean's going to be talking about some serious things. Oh, by the way, I got my shotgun from Louisiana that was registered. I think now you got to have what's registered to you too. I don't want my mom to kill somebody out there, and it's registered to me. So I got my shotgun back. And
shooting range.
With a shotgun? No, I don't think so. But maybe
there's a few places to go blast clays.
Yeah, I can go out to the desert and where some of the bodies are at. But Daryl Terrell Times, please look into that. And Daryl, on that page is your outlet to speak about different things. Where do you want to go with that, just in general?
Well, basically, is to just talk about issues in general. Issues that
highlight.
Come up. And, locally, or maybe just like the thing about immigration.
Right.
I mean, that's going to be a big topic.
Big issue. So,
And I mean, those are the kind of things I want to engage in. Those kind of, not only local, but national or international issues that people just need to have the knowledge and have more information about. And I just want to express that and, express a more hopeful message with that.
Right, absolutely. And like I said, we're going to be shooting a lot of content all over the place. So, the Inland Empire Informer is our core group where we all get together in the hot seat. That's pretty much the same thing. We need to bring some more ladies on the show since Max is leaving. And, we wish you luck. But just in case you don't make it that part, you always have a spot here as you get ready to go to the next airline.
Set it up with Max.
Yes. And you have some things going on. So
yes.
Tell us about that.
Super excited just for the new year to help people. I'm going to be way more active online.
Yes.
Helping some friends create some blogatry.
Yes.
And I've decided after graduation that I was living my life for myself. So just excited to deep dive and indulge into what makes me really happy and what excites me, which would be popular culture, music, lust, and fun.
There you go, fellas. I'm telling you, she's got these legs that are just unbelievable. So.
I know. I got skinny, and I still have the horse legs.
The definition and everything like that. But also, we haven't forgot about the animal shelter. Very important issue. Does Victoria Baca give a damn? Absolutely not. Because if she did, she would have spoken about it since she's been back on the council. So we're going to keep that as a forefront. Belle the Wonder Dog, I just bought her a sweater today. She's been digging in the backyard, so I'm a little mad at her. Felipe, the Latin lover cat, and my mama cat, Misty, they are still around, and we are going to try to rescue a lot of those animals that are at that animal shelter, so please look into that. Not only are we going to do video, a lot of things that people want to say, you don't necessarily have to say. You can write it down and post, so please do that. But this money that this developer owes, I do not understand why people are not up in arms as soon as that story blew. Because here's the main question for you guys. Jesse Molina, what was the last thing he said at the meeting? He said, we are going to keep this developer accountable to what he says, something of that thing. Now, Jesse Molina is no longer on the council, but he said that he would, if this guy doesn't do what he's supposed to do, he's going to be at every council meeting. Was Jesse Molina, and Jesse's a friend of mine, was he at the meeting? And this is the problem in Moreno Valley. So like you said, Pastor Dom, whatever I'm not saying Jesse's done backyard deals, but they say one thing and they do another. And this is the kind of things that we keep bringing out. I'm just pointing this stuff out. I mean, I see it. I don't understand why nobody else sees it. So Jesse Molina said, we're going to hold him accountable. Raphael said, we're going to hold him accountable. We're going to hold him accountable. And get the things done.
Donovan's impersonations are so great. I just want to meet everybody.
Yes. So, Raphael, why aren't you up in arms? This developer that you're probably getting a white envelope from is not doing what he said he's going to do. So what are you going to do about it? You're from New York.
You're not from California? We're laid back out here. New York, we get things done.
Yes, son. B.
I want some dead bodies in the desert.
So let's get this done. And this is what we're talking about. And, and we joke and we laugh and stuff like that. But these are serious issues that affect Moreno Valley. And if we don't start moving forward, and moving forward is not squelching freedom of speech and doing these things. If you feel that your freedom of speech is being squelched by Idiot Gutierrez, you're more than welcome to come on this show. And you're going to see us out in the community. You're going to see us doing things, and we're going to bring and tell you what's going on in the Inland Empire. So as we start 2017, get ready. It's a new regime. This city council isn't doing it. And I'm going to say this, and I know Pastor Don is here, and I'm not trying to get a nice star because Pastor Don's here. I've said this, and I'm going to say this till the day I die. If you are depending on man to solve your problems will never be solved because only God can solve these problems. So, Pastor Don, any last words?
I couldn't have said that better. Absolutely, and that's why I'm saying, city council seems like the cycle just continues. That's why we're doing so much to try this revival, get a church revival, and get God back into the city. So I'm excited about that.
Absolutely. Daryl, anything coming up in the near future we need to know about?
Here's something. I had that Behavioral Health Commission meeting today. We was down in Indio. Mm-hmm. It was so interesting. The late Supervisor John Benoit that passed away. He was a big advocate for mental health and substance abuse down in Desert, because down in places where we saw, the only place we went to an Indio, the Riverside Clinic down there. And my God, they have no other, that's the only service they have. They cover Mecca, they cover all these other cities way out there. And I'm thinking, that, because I mentioned about the mental health and substance abuse in the schools and stuff, and they do have some kind of connection, but it made me kind of wonder about they lack the services down there, and I'm just saying, and that just kind of opened my eye, because we saw one guy, he was just, he went absolutely berserk, and I think he had the clinic, so they had to bring in the police and all that and to calm them down. But I'm just thinking how because like I said last night, that we're missing so much of the real issues that need to be addressed. But you're right, the city council is not going to address it. I spoke and said what I had to say about the issues that we need to really focus on, but that's not going to happen. Like what Pastor Don is doing, and
what we're doing as a group,
what we're doing as a group is going to enlighten people. Because you can't count on the city council, you can't wait for change. People have to be the agent of change,
right?
And that just hit home, because I was sitting there thinking about that. I was like, well, the city, why I'm saying is the city's not going to do anything about this. They're not going to tackle that issue. That's not their job. It should be their job. We pay taxes, but they're not going to do it.
Exactly.
And I think, like you were saying, Pastor Don, the Lord is the one that's going to solve the problems. And people will have to start having more faith in God, and that's what I have. I have faith, no matter how bad things are,
right?
And so that's kind of been weighing on my mind, because I was sitting there thinking when I saw that, man, in the services, the folks are lacking out there, and we got in our own city, we got people that need those kind of services,
absolutely,
and that bothers me.
Right, Sean, you got anything coming up in the future, anything like that? Any gun shows?
No. The sad thing about the mental health situation in the city, we could get people, if they're not covered by Medi-Cal, we could get people mental health services for $80 a head per year.
Right. So, other than that,
I don't have anything else going on yet. I do plan on having a few little video documentaries.
Okay, great. So we have a lot of stuff coming up now. Last but not least, if you go to Max's Instagram page, she is in a bikini. Oh my God, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. No, she wasn't in a bikini. But Max, like I said, we wish you well. Keep us informed of how that goes.
Yeah.
Something like that. And
everything will be on. Actually, it's a secret. So no one really knows that I applied for Delta Airlines.
They know now.
They know now, right? Like, if you follow me on Instagram, just drop a comment with a plane on my most recent picture, so I know that you know, because like it's not online anywhere for once in my life.
Wow.
Nothing's online. Just my family and my closest friends in Moreno Valley.
Yes, and the world. So I want you to know, as a former pilot,
yes,
we had flight attendants, depending what kind of plane you flew, and for some reason the flight attendants, stewardesses back in our day, the flight attendants always, when you're landing and we go to the hotel. You guys all be careful of those pilots, okay? Just be careful.
I'm really just excited to post shake selfies in different cities.
There you go.
It won't. I don't even know if I'll say that I work for Delta on my.
Well, when you're out there and you happen to meet a sugar daddy, let us know.
I'm hoping. I got a price tag.
Hey.
I am not afraid to shave to say it. Like, everybody has a price tag. Let's be honest.
That's true. I believe everybody has a price. So, we wish you the best with that.
You.
Anybody that wants to go into aeronautics, I love aeronautics. It's all on my wall.
Yeah.
There's proof to that. But gosh, man, moving on to Atlanta.
Well, prayerfully, you guys are speaking really positive about it. Yeah. Most of the people who know are like, dude, you're going to get it.
Yeah, you're going to get it. You got the personality.
Just thankful.
But she has more of a Southwest personality. That's what I heard.
I've heard that as well. They're very playful at Southwest. Mm-hmm. But I had this office experience to help ground me and really teach me things that I may get to reel in for a little bit and really just not necessarily mask, but appropriatize.
Yeah, she's going to get based in Italy somewhere, and maybe France,
maybe Germany for the red light district.
Winning. Frankfurt. Yeah, Frankfurt. You have any questions when it comes to travel? Let me know.
I know I've never been anywhere besides Mexico. That's out of the nation, and like 6 states.
Okay,
so.
And Vegas.
Vegas, Minnesota, which was recent.
Yeah, we know.
Florida.
Okay.
Louisiana.
Right.
Denver.
I really advocate young people, anybody, go get a passport and travel. You will learn so much more than it's sitting in a classroom. There's no doubt about it. So, this was a very good week. We have a lot more coming to everybody out there. We want to wish you guys a Happy New Year. We are moving forward. And again, I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it until the day I die. If you are relying on man to solve your problems, if you need a job, if you need food, if you need this, that, and the other, if you're not praying to God, the chances of it ever happening is going to be very, very slim, and you're going to continue to keep wanting. And like I said, Pastor Don will tell you that until the end. It's just a fact, because our faith in what we wanted to do, we're seeing it happen in what's going on with Reflections Church. So I'm a believer. I hope you guys are a believer in whatever you believe. But if God's not involved, it ain't worth doing. Donovan Sadiq, Pastor Don he's here this week, and Mr. Moreno Valley, Daryl Terrell.
Yes.
Right Wing, Sean Fortine, and mighty late Matt is with us. And we'll see you guys next week.